If you've ever tried to capture a complex musical idea,
Mm.
maybe a melody you heard in your head, or even just a tricky chord progression, the pain of getting it onto paper. For centuries, this meant a composer sat, hunched over a desk, painstakingly handwriting every single note, every rest, every tiny little mark.
It was an incredibly slow, specialized skill.
And if you made a mistake,
You scratched it out or, I don't know, taped a new piece of paper over it, or you just had to start the whole page over. It was a huge bottleneck on creativity.
exactly, the process itself was so laborious.
It was. So what we're really diving into here is how music notation software didn't just digitize that process.
Yeah.
It completely redefined it.
It's a classic technological revolution, really.
Yeah.
We went from a scratchy pen and an inkwell to a clean, professional digital file.
Yeah.
It just accelerated the entire workflow.
But the change wasn't instant either. I mean, when the very first versions of the software came out, they weren't intuitive at all.
Right, no clicking and dragging.
No. You were essentially typing complex codes and commands into a screen just to place one quarter note on the staff. It was like coding your music.
Yeah.
Still pretty tedious.
So the real revolution wasn't just digital, it was visual.
Yes. The breakthrough came with graphical interfaces.
The programs that finally let you see exactly what the printed page would look like in real time. That whole what you see is what you get idea.
That visual feedback was the game changer. It turned editing from this complicated command sequence into an instantaneous click and delete.
Want to move a phrase up, just drag it.
Need to change a rhythm, you click a button. And that massive increase in efficiency is why digital scoring is now the absolute standard across the entire industry.
It's everywhere. High school band rooms, symphony orchestras, film studios. And critically, it democratized quality. Before this, that super clean professional look was only possible if you had access to a major publishing house.
And now a student in their bedroom can produce a score that looks just as pristine. It's the essential baseline tool. If you want to communicate music professionally today, you have to speak this digital language.
Okay, so if it's the essential tool, let's tear it open. When you first sit down, what does this digital desk actually look like?
Well, you can think of the interface as a highly organized workspace, but one that's customized for music. The center of the screen, the main area, is the staff.
Those 5 horizontal lines.
Exactly, where all your musical ideas live, everything flows from there.
And I guess like a real desk, you have areas for your tools.
Right. Up at the top usually is the toolbar. This is for the big foundational decisions. So you're choosing your clef treble, bass setting the key signature.
How many sharps or flats?
Yep. And the time signature, how many beats are in each measure, all the basics.
Okay, then you need the actual notes.
And for that, you have the palette, usually off to the side. This is where you select the duration. Do you want a long whole note, a fast 16th note? You just click it.
So it's all visual. No commands to remember.
Exactly. And for longer pieces, I mean, you could be writing a 10-page score. Scrolling through that would be a nightmare.
So for sure.
So most professional programs include a navigator window. Think of it like a little zoomed out map of your entire piece. You can see the whole layout and just jump instantly from measure 1 to measure 180.
That's a huge deal. So we have the canvas, the tools are all laid out. Now for the most important part, getting the notes onto those 5 lines. How does that work?
There are a few main ways, and the one you choose really depends on what you need. Are you going for speed or accuracy or just convenience?
Let's start with the most basic.
The most fundamental way, especially for beginners, is just using the mouse to click the note directly onto the staff. It's slow, but it's very accurate. You can't really mess it up.
Okay, but what if you're a bit faster and you know the pitches you want?
Then you'd probably use the computer keyboard. A lot of programs let you assign letter keys to pitch names, C, D, E, and then you use the number keys for the rhythm. You can type out a whole melody.
Much faster than clicking.
Significantly faster. But if speed is everything, say you're a film composer and you've got this huge idea you need to get down before you forget it.
There's got to be a better way.
Absolutely. The preferred high-speed method is connecting a MIDI keyboard.
MIDI, that's the musical instrument digital interface.
Right. It's just a protocol that lets a physical piano keyboard talk to the software. You literally play the music on the piano.
And it just appears on the screen.
Instantly. It translates your performance, the pitch, the rhythm into written notation right there on the staff. It's an incredible time saver.
That instant translation is just wild. Before this, you either wrote it and then played it, or you played it and then had to slowly transcribe it.
Precisely. And for convenience, you can even do things like import files from other programs or even scan old paper sheet music and turn it into an editable digital file.
Okay, so let's move beyond just the notes and rhythms. Because if that's all you write, the music sounds really robotic.
It does. It has no feeling, no emotion. And that's where composers add in another layer of expression.
And the software makes that pretty straightforward.
It does. It starts with dynamics, which just tells the performer how loud or soft to play. The software gives you this huge library of symbols. The P for soft, the F for loud, and so on.
They're like a volume knob roadmap for the musician. You can just drag and drop a crescendo, that little hairpin symbol, to tell them to get gradually louder.
Exactly. And then you get even more detailed with articulations.
These are the markings that tell you exactly how to play a note.
Yep.
Yeah.
The little staccato dot that means play it short and sharp, or the accent mark that means give it a little extra punch. These details add so much character.
And what about making it sound smooth instead of choppy?
That's where slurs and ties come in. A tie connects two notes of the same pitch to make them longer, and a slur arches over a whole group of notes to create a smooth, linked phrase.
And the really cool thing is that the software doesn't just let you drop these symbols anywhere. It's like having an invisible editor.
It is. It automatically aligns everything based on standard professional engraving rules.
So your allegro to set a fast tempo, or ritardando to slow down, it's all perfectly placed. The performer doesn't have to squint at messy handwriting.
And the final score looks like it came straight from a publishing house. It just elevates the professionalism of every single piece of music.
This brings us to what might be the most exciting feature for a student: instant feedback.
The instant gratification, yeah. Being able to hear what you wrote immediately using the program's built-in sound engine.
It's like having an instant orchestra at your fingertips.
Or an instant piano player, yeah. Most of these programs come with really high-quality sound libraries. Realistic violins, pianos, drums. You just hit play, and you hear a mock-up of your piece.
Which is revolutionary for learning. You can check for mistakes right away. Does that chord sound weird? Is that rhythm clunky? You don't have to wait for a lesson.
That immediate self-correction speeds up learning like you wouldn't believe. But the automation goes way deeper than just playback. Let's talk about transposition.
Okay, so let's just break that down simply. Transposition is just moving a piece of music to a different pitch, higher or lower, but keeping all the notes in the same relationship.
Right. And imagine you wrote a great song, but the singer says, "The high notes are just too high for me. Can you move it down a bit?"
Before computers, that meant rewriting every single note of the entire song by hand
It could take days.
and with notation software.
You highlight the music, select transpose down a minor third, and it's done. In literally 2 seconds, the computer handles all the math, updates the key signature, puts all the sharps and flats in the right place.
It just takes away that entire mathematical burden.
It does, and that's critical when you're writing for a whole band because you have what are called transposing instruments.
Oh, this is where it gets really tricky.
And where the software really shines. So an instrument like a B-flat clarinet, when the player reads a C on the page, the note that actually comes out of their instrument is a B-flat.
So if the conductor says, "Everyone play a G," and the clarinetist plays the G written on their page, it's not going to match the piano.
Exactly. It's a huge headache. But the software understands this. You put in the note you want to hear, and it automatically writes the correct note for the clarinetist to read.
Which leads right into the ultimate time saver, part extraction. Because the conductor sees the full score with every instrument stacked on the page. But the trumpet player doesn't need to see the flute part.
Correct. They only need their own instructions. So part extraction is the feature that automatically pulls out the individual part for every single instrument from that huge score.
Which for a band director with like 30 different students.
It's a lifesaver. It handles all the transposition automatically, and it adds things like rehearsal marks and measure numbers to every part so everyone can stay together during practice.
It saves hundreds of hours of manual work.
No question. Without this automation, preparing music for a big group on a deadline would be almost impossible for one person.
So if we connect this back to the classroom, this is more than just a professional tool. It's a learning tool.
Oh, absolutely. It turns abstract music theory into something concrete. Students can see the notes on the staff and immediately hear what they sound like.
Teachers can make custom worksheets.
Player training exercises, rhythm tests. all tailored exactly to their class. It provides this fantastic sandbox for experimentation.
Students can just mess around with chords and scales.
Freely. And some of the educational software can even identify harmony errors, like pointing out when you've broken a traditional rule like parallel fifths. But most importantly, it levels the playing field.
How so?
Well, if you have amazing musical ideas but you aren't a great piano player yet, this technology still allows you to fully express yourself and become a composer.
And speaking of that, it's important to remember that not all this software is the same. There are different tools for different jobs.
That's a key point. Some software is specialized for guitarists and uses tablature, which shows you which fret to press instead of notes on a staff.
And then you've got programs for film composers.
Right, where you can sync your score directly to a video timeline to match the action on screen. And then there are simple apps for your phone just for getting a quick idea down.
So with all that in mind, where's this all headed? What's the future look like?
The horizon is fascinating because we're starting to see real artificial intelligence get integrated.
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning an AI might soon be able to look at the music you just wrote and suggest a better chord progression, or maybe an alternative melody that fits the style you're going for.
Wow. The computer as a creative partner. That's a mind-bending idea.
It is. And we're also seeing hardware evolve, with touch screens and even virtual reality. The idea of a composer physically standing inside their score, moving notes around with their hands, that's not science fiction anymore.
But the core goal stays the same.
It does. Through all of it, the goal is just to communicate musical ideas as clearly as possible.
So the big takeaway here is that the barrier between your imagination and a finished piece of music is just getting smaller and smaller.
Completely. By automating all the visual and mathematical burdens, the formatting, the transposition, the engraving, this technology frees up creators to focus entirely on their musical ideas.
Which I guess leads to a pretty interesting question.
Yeah. If the computer handles all the hard stuff and even starts suggesting melodies, where does the value of the music lie? Is it in that initial spark of creativity, or is it in the human composer's decision to accept, reject, or refine what the computer suggests?
Learning how to navigate and leverage these tools now is the critical step to shaping that future.